G'day, welcome to the Hit Up. We're down at the Players Village at the Australian Open. If you want to know what the latest news is, you've come to the right place. Let's check out what's going on in the Player Village. First cab off the rank in the Hit Up. The first of the big draws has been released, the ATP Cup in Sydney, running from January 1 to 9 in Sydney. Serbia are the defending champions from 2020, leading a range of nations coming to Sydney to compete for the Cup. Opening night on January 1 sees a showcase match between Serbia and Norway. World number one Novak Djokovic is slated to play Norwegian star Casper Ruud. The two players recently met in Turin, Italy, at the Nitto ATP Finals, where prize money was a staggering $7.25 million. Casper Ruud was seeded 8th at the Nitto Final. He was a late replacement for Stefanos Tsitsipas. On November 17, the Greek star had to pull out due to an injury. The Canadian team at the ATP Cup in Sydney features the ATP Tour's two of the brightest talents and longtime friends, Felix Auger-Aliassime and Denis Shapovalov. How does their bromance rate alongside other well-known famous Canadians Jason Bateman and Will Arnett? The first semi-final for the ATP Cup will be held on the evening of the 7th of January. The second semi-final will take place during the day on January 8. The ATP Cup final will be held on January 9. In the ATP Cup Fast Facts, which players have confirmed for the tournament? You can view the list of committed players in the draw on the atptour.com news event page. Search for the ATP Cup 2022 draw announced news item. It'll give you a complete list of all the players competing from all the different countries flying in for the competition in Sydney in early January 2022. Don't forget that you can help our channel grow if you subscribe and hit the like button. Make sure you hit the notification bell and you'll be notified of any new episode to this Australian Open life as soon as it's published and distributed. And by doing this, you'll be telling the YouTube algorithm that this is a channel to watch. Next in the Hit Up, we meet the Aussies who are going to be taking on the world at the ATP Cup in Sydney in January 2022. And no surprises for guessing, it'll be led by Alex de Minaur, and he'll be accompanied by James Duckworth. Australia is a wild card entry into the ATP Cup, being the host nation. The combination of de Minaur and Duckworth weren't paired up at the recent Davis Cup. James Duckworth is now ranked the Australian number 2. He's replaced John Millman, who slips down the tennis rankings. But in terms of form, de Minaur's recent form is a bit patchy. He was struck by COVID-19 and forced out of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, but he did recover in time to play in the Davis Cup. As for James Duckworth, with his form recently, he's hit a career best 54th in the world rankings on the ATP Tour. When the Davis Cup team was selected for September 21 fixtures, James Duckworth became a slightly controversial omission from the Davis Cup team for Australia, and there were more than a few raised eyebrows. Duckworth had made his maiden ATP Tour final at the Astana Open. And although he went down in straight sets in a loss to Kwon Soon Woo, many were surprised that he didn't make the Davis Cup squad. Duckworth does have form on clay courts. As for Alex de Minaur, in 2021 he was able to snag 2 ATP titles. How well do you know your Davis Cup facts? Australia was pummeled in the Davis Cup fixtures. When asked to describe his final Davis Cup match in September 2021, de Minaur could only describe it as brutal. And it's fair to say Australia had its pants pulled down. Don't forget that by subscribing and smashing the like button, you'll be helping this channel grow and making sure that we're marked as a channel to watch. If you want more videos from the Australian Open in 2022, all you have to do is hit the bell icon to be notified of any new content that's published and distributed. Make sure you don't miss out. We'll be taking a short break with our recently released official trailer teaser for the Australian Open. Don't go away, we'll be right back. Thanks for joining us again on the Hit Up. Running into news item number 3, Victorians woke up to breaking news, that density limits at next year's Australian Open 2022 in Melbourne Park, density limits would be scrapped. There would be no plans to impose these density limits on major events. Both Victoria and New South Wales were responding to the increasing rapid rise of the Omicron COVID-19 variant. On Sunday the 19th of December, Victoria's acting Premier, James Merlino, confirmed that there was no plans to impose density limits on major events such as the Australian Open at Melbourne Park and the Boxing Day test starting on the 26th of December at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, just over the road from Melbourne Park. On Sunday the 19th of December, Victoria recorded 1,240 new cases of the coronavirus. And again, the acting Premier in a press conference that Sunday afternoon said COVID settings were about making decisions like the continued wearing of masks. But it's fair to say that this is a very fluid situation, and even as recently as 24 to 36 hours ago, the government was still having to consider any types of obvious restrictions beyond the ones that have been announced. If you're attending the Australian Open or have plans to purchase tickets, it's best to keep abreast of updates via the Australian Open website, because although the acting Premier was quoted as saying that there's no plans to impose new capacity limits, as we all know with the coronavirus, things can change on a day-to-day, hour-to-hour basis. The acting Premier also confirmed that there was no plans to cancel major events such as the Australian Open or the Boxing Day Test. But keep in mind that the Boxing Day Test sometimes attracts crowds of up to 90,000, and given this is an Ashes year, there'll be many travelling fans from interstate and overseas, but the Victorian government has committed to continue to closely observe the Omicron situation quite closely. As at the 19th of December, the new coronavirus variant was seen to be doubling every 1.5 to 3 days. And this is in countries where there is community transmission of the variant. And recording on Christmas Eve, it's already been announced that English Premier League and Scottish Premiership soccer matches have been postponed or called off for the next 3 to 6 weeks. Don't forget that by subscribing or smashing the like button, you'll be helping this channel grow and spread to the global tennis community. Make sure that you're notified of any new episode published and distributed. We'll be bringing you lots of fresh, unique content from the Australian Open in 2022. Next on the hit up, we look into the seeds and the qualifiers playing at the ITF Junior International J1 Traralgon tournament, the boys' side of the draw. Let's look at the top 5 seeds in the draw in the International Juniors playing at Traralgon. Ranked 22 in the world, the 5th seed is Ignacio Ruzzi. He's a Peruvian. Seeded number 4. The 4th seed is Adolfo Daniel Vallejo. The Paraguayan is ranked 17 in the world. The number 3 seed, Jacob Mensik from Czechoslovakia, he's ranked 14 in the world. The number 2 seed has been named as Mili Polčiak from Croatia, ranked 11 in the world. But the number 1 seed is an American. At number 9 in the world, Bruno Kuzuhara is the number 1 seed at Traralgon. And what about the qualifiers? Let's take a look at the top 3 seeds in the qualifying. At number 3 is Martin Pawelski, the Polish player, ranked at 139 in the world. And remember, this is the juniors. Seed number 2 is another American, Leonid Boyka, 132 in the world. And the top qualifying seed rounding out the field at Traralgon is Alessio Basile of Belarus, ranked 130 in the world. How well do you know your facts about the ITF Junior Tour? Well, in 2020, the Traralgon International Juniors tournament was postponed due to Australia's hard border closure. So it's great to have these young blokes back in the country plying their trade. You can enjoy more of these episodes from the Australian Open. We'll be bringing you episodes with unique and topical content. Tennis fans, Melbourne can't wait to welcome you all back to Melbourne Park. This Australian Open Life is on site, on hand. Our episodes are fresh, unique, topical, with content you simply cannot find anywhere else in one easy to go to place. Created and produced in Melbourne, Australia, this Australian Open Life is bringing coverage that only a true Melbourne local can deliver. Continuing on the hit up, now we look to the girls' side of the draw at the Traralgon ITF Juniors International Tournament in Traralgon. And again, we're going to be looking at the top seeds as well as the top qualifying seeds. The top 5 seeds on the girls' side of the draw, starting with the 5th seed, Cleavi Ugunu from America. She's ranked 20th in the world. The 4th seed has been announced as Solana Sierra, the Argentinian ranked 13th in the world, is the number 4 seed for Traralgon. Ranked at 11 in the world is the Russian Xenia Zaitseva, the 3rd seed. A Croatian Petra Marchenko, ranked 10 in the world, is the 2nd seed. But the number 1 seed, an American Diana Schneider, ranks 7 in the world. Let's take a look at the qualifiers and the top 3 seeds in the qualifying. Number 3 is Ioana Vonaru, the Romanian, ranked 6 in the world. Number 2, Patricia Pokestit from Lithuania, ranked 2 in the world. And the number 1 qualifying seed is the German Ella Seidel, ranked 30th in the world. How well do you know the ITF Juniors, the girls' side? Well, like the boys, it was also postponed in 2020, Australia's hard border shutting down the competition. If you want unique, fresh content, all you have to do is subscribe and smash the like button. You'll be helping this channel grow and spread throughout the global tennis community. And make sure you hit the bell icon to be notified of any new episode. We've still got a couple of items to cover off. Stick around, and thanks for joining us on the Hit Up. So from Bendigo, we'll take you over to Adelaide. The ATP WTA Players Tour update, the WTA 500 and ATP 250 tournament running in Adelaide from January 2 to January 9, 2022. It also acts as a qualifier for the Australian Open. We'll be taking a look at the women's side of the draw, which features 33 of the world's elite WTA players. Including Maria Sakkari from Greece, seeded 6, Sophia Kenin, the American, seeded 12, and seeded 22 in the draw, the American Corey Gaff. World number 1 Ash Barty is seeded 1 for the Adelaide tournament. She was the inaugural champion in 2020. Ash's great rival and good friend is Petra Kvitova. They've had many great battles over the years. The Czech player is seeded 17. Can she push Ash in a title showdown at Adelaide? All-world Grand Slam French Open champion Iga Swiatek from Poland, who's seeded 9, will she upstage Ash in a home crowd upset? How well do you know the Adelaide tournament? Tickets have been released and kids are free at selected sessions. They went on sale from midday on Friday the 17th of December 2021. If you're enjoying the episodes we're bringing to you, show your appreciation by subscribing to this channel. Make sure you also like the episode, hit the bell icon, you'll be notified of any new episode published and distributed for more content coming from the Australian Open in January 2022. We'd like to know your thoughts about the Adelaide tournament. Do you think Iga Swiatek from Poland or Petra Kvitova from Czechoslovakia, can they upset Ash Barty in the Adelaide WTA 500 tournament? Let us know. We'd love to know your thoughts. And finally on the Hit Up, we'd like to tell you a little bit more about the content coming up in the episodes for this channel. If you've been missing the tennis, change your Grand Slam viewing experience. Tune in to This Australian Open Live. Our tennis coverage includes qualifying, regional events and tournaments, qualifying, metro events and tournaments. Look out for our Spotlight series, Player Watch and Volunteers. In our recent episodes of Player Watch, we put the spotlight on WTA players ranked 100 to 200 in the world, drilling into their stats with game analysis as how those players were performing on breakpoint percentage when serving. And we came up with some interesting and unique discussion points around who has the most or the least mental resilience when facing breakpoint on their serve. And of course we have our weekly series, The Hit Up, with video coverage Sundays weekly at 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Daylight Time. So why not make this Australian Open Live part of your tennis viewing experience? Created and produced in Melbourne, Australia, with coverage of the Australian Open that only a true Melbourne local can deliver. If you're looking forward to summer, tennis fans, Melbourne can't wait to welcome you all back to Melbourne Park for the Australian Open in 2022. We're on site, on hand and on fire. Our episodes are fresh, unique, topical. It's content you simply cannot find anywhere else in one easy to go to place. You're listening to The Hit Up. Don't waste your time trawling into and out of endless streams of apps and websites. Let us do all the hard work for you. It's all in one place here on This Australian Open Life. We have stories in, around and about the lead up and during the Australian Open 2022. It's all in surround sound, 4K video footage. Another simmering summer of international tennis is ahead of us. Why not join us on This Australian Open Live? If you're enjoying the episode so far, subscribe, like and hit the notification bell. Make sure that every episode fresh out of our production studios are never missed. And if you're really enjoying what you're hearing and seeing on This Australian Open Live, show your appreciation by donating a ground pass or part of one. Help us bring you fresh content from on site during the Australian Open 2022 Melbourne Park. And don't forget, it's free to subscribe, it's free to listen, it's free to watch. The Australian Open 2022 runs from the 17th of January to the 30th of January, coming to you from Melbourne, consistently rated the world's most livable city. Our content is immersive, virtual, authentic, original and unique. Make an appointment with us every morning at 8:30 for our news bites. And as we swing into the new year, we'll have 10 to 12 almost 14-minute episodes every weekday, daily at 4 p.m, with The Hit Up every Sunday at 4 o'clock. And make sure that you provide us lots of input and feedback so we can fine-tune our schedule and our editorials towards the type of content that you want to hear in each episode. I'm the bloke who walks. We're based in Melbourne, Australia. Finally, don't forget to subscribe and like this channel. Make sure that you get notified of new episodes whenever they're published and distributed. Thanks for joining us in the Player Village at the Australian Open. down at the National Tennis Centre at Melbourne Park. We look forward to bringing you more news from the Australian Open and look forward to receiving your feedback and your comments. Look out for our special Spotlight series, Player Watch. We'll also be highlighting qualifying at regional tournaments in Bendigo and Traralgon. We'll be covering the Wheelchair Opens, the Melbourne Wheelchair Open and the Victorian Wheelchair Open. Thanks for joining us on the Hit Up. We'll see you next time. This Australian Open Life is based in Melbourne, Australia, produced by Wise Words Media and Calumny Films.